Everybody, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to do a lab activity that is going to use some things that hopefully you can find around your house so that you can try this on your own. If you can't find any of this stuff, just let me know that you weren't able to do today's lab. But it's common stuff like water and food coloring and cups. So hopefully everybody has that stuff at your house. The only thing I think you might have a hard time finding is maybe food coloring, but you could try it with something else like a little bit of colored like soda or colored juice or coffee or something that has a color that is in liquid form. Okay, so this week we're talking all about heat and temperature and what temperature is really a measurement of. And yesterday when you were reading, hopefully you saw that temperature is the measurement of the kinetic energy the substance has. So the more kinetic energy, the faster the atoms in that matter are moving. The lower the kinetic energy, the slower they're moving. And temperature is just the thing that we use to measure how fast or how slow those particles are moving. So today, our lab is just going to show us that. So we're going to use water today as our matter that we're going to be testing the kinetic energy of. And we can't see the molecules in water. Even if we had a microscope, we won't be able to see them. So we have a really, really powerful microscope. But what we can do is we can use food coloring to show us how those particles are moving. So you're going to take 3 different cups. So I have 3 different jars here. You're going to fill one jar with hot water. So this is my hot water. I just use my Keurig coffee brewer to heat it up. You can use the microwave, the stove. Just make sure that it's hot. I have a thermometer in the lab procedure for this, and if we were in school, we would use our thermometers at school. But I don't even have a thermometer at home, except for like a body when you're sick thermometer, and all it says when I put it in the hot water is H, that it's hot. So if you don't have a thermometer, that's okay. If you do and you can take a temperature, that's even better. So I'm going to put my hot water in my first jar. I don't have to be super precise. I just want to use the same amount of water each time. So I have hot water in my first jar, room temperature water in my second jar. So I just got this out of the faucet, put the faucet between hot and cold, let it run. And then my last jar, I'm going to put ice water in. So I have some ice water that's been sitting here, but I just want the water. I don't want the ice. So I'm going to pour this out and drain the ice so that I just get the cold water. All right, so I don't know the temperature of these, but I know that this one's hot, this one's cold, and this one's somewhere in between. I'm going to take some food coloring. I like purple, so I'm going to use purple. And I'm going to add the same amount of food coloring to each jar, and I'm going to set a timer. I'm just going to use my phone, and I'm going to wait until the food coloring gets all the way dispersed into the jar. So I'm going to show you one of these. I'm not going to show you all of them. And I'm going to come a little bit closer, maybe. I'm going to come around my table. So I'm going to add 3 drops of food coloring, and I'm just going to watch. When I do the food coloring, I'm going to start my timer. 1, 2, 3. And start. I should start when the first drop hits. And I'm just going to let it kind of go and watch how long it takes for that food coloring to spread all the way through the water. I'm not going to stir it or anything. I'm just going to let it sit and watch the food coloring go throughout the jar. What's happening here is that food coloring that I put in is super concentrated. All those little atoms of food coloring are really close together and packed together. And when I put them in water, what they want to do is they want to diffuse, and they want to spread out as even as they can until all of the parts of the jar are covered. So I'm just going to let that sit until I see that all the food coloring touches all the parts of the water. And it might take a while, so I'm not going to hold it here the whole time. But just when I see that all of my stuff is filled, I'm going to get a white paper. Hold on. There's a nice white background. When my jar is completely purple, I can't tell the difference between the water doesn't look watery anymore, it just looks purple throughout, I would stop my timer. And then I'm going to repeat the process with the room temperature water and the cold water, and I'm going to see if I can see any differences. We'll see how fast or slow the particles are moving depending on the temperature of the water. So go ahead, try this at home. If you have a little sibling, this could keep them busy for a little bit. So you could try to do it together, or maybe you do it with mom and dad and show them some science today. But try the activity, and then there's just a couple of questions I want you to answer about what you saw. So I will talk to you later. Bye.